Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. The following video contains a sequence of events that you really shouldn't do. No, like you really shouldn't do it. It's not recommended at all. I really don't like using this Rotoclip disc because I can't use the back edge to cut, and for me that means that I can't make as good a job of the cow's feet as I do with the Trim Tech, except the Trim Tech don't do the disc that I want to do anymore. So with all that complications out the way, remember, I'm telling you, you really shouldn't do this. It's not designed to do this. This is not a how-to video. This is just what I'm doing. So with all that said, let's do this. So the problem with this disc is the front of it cuts really well. I do like how it cuts, but the back side here, as you can see, these inserts here don't actually protrude out the back, which means you can't use the back side to model. And I use the back side an awful lot, especially when I'm shortening the toes. So with the screws and therefore the blades completely out of the way, we need to reduce this angle here, and for that we need to fix it onto a grinder, of which I have quite a few. This is HGP, made me a cup of tea. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. I did it again, didn't I? Is it a bad sign that she gives me the Mrs. cup? So now we've got the screws and the blades out, we need a way to reduce that edge and make it so that the blades actually stick out the back of the disc. And for that, we need another grinder. Next, you'd ideally want a vise to secure one of the grinders in, but as I don't have a vise because I don't have a workshop, I'm going to use the front leg clamp. Now the idea, in theory, is sound. I'm going to turn this one on, get the other grinder, turn the grinding disc on and hold it there at 45 degrees, and that way next time I put in the inserts, it should expose this top edge. Now in theory it works. It's working! So as you can see, I'm barely removing anything from that outer edge. I just want the smallest amount ever of the insert to show through, so that I'm not taking chunks out of the cow's feet. That would be the last thing I would want. So looking at that, that is definitely not quite enough. So we need to take a little bit more off. Okay, there's just under a millimetre poking out from that back edge, so I'm happy with that there now. I just need to tidy up these little edges and then see how she goes. You see, it seems to have created these little sharp edges here, so I want to get rid of those and make sure that this thing works as well as it possibly can. Now it's just time to get the inserts back in, get the screws in, and test this sucker out. You can see just here how much is sticking out this top side now. A lot less than on the bottom side. There's probably 3 millimeters sticking out that bottom side, whereas at the top there's about 1. Right, on with the day, which is actually tomorrow because today's Sunday.
Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No.
So far the new modifications to the disc are going really well, but let's take a closer look and see how they're actually performing. As you can see, it is taking me a little bit of time to get used to the modification, but it's definitely proven a help already. This foot's quite interesting actually. She's had a white line problem here, and it's obviously completely separated the sole, and somebody else has trimmed it because this is a new farm to us. But I don't want it to go back away, so we've put a block on here just to prevent it from actually regressing or getting worse again.
You make me feel so unreal. Na, 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 na. We can live a dream. We can be so unreal. Living in high speed. Love is so insane like that. Want your lips on me? Hear you say I can sleep where you sleep. From the gate up the stairs, put the keys in the lock. Then we fall through your door. Leave the clothes on the floor. Tonight it's me and you on top of it all. I am yours. Do what you want with me, but don't let me go. You make me feel so unreal. Na, 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 na. You make me feel so unreal. Na, 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 na.
It takes time to adapt, and maybe I should have given this Rotoclip a little bit more time before altering it, but I've gone ahead and altered it, and I am really starting to enjoy working with it. I can't wait to get on with the week ahead and really get to grips with this new disc. There were only 40 cows to trim at this farm this morning, but with every foot I was starting to gain a little bit more confidence. I still don't have the finesse I have with the trim tech, but I'm definitely going to persevere and see what happens in the coming weeks.
Clothes on the floor. Tonight it's me and you on top of it all. I am yours. Do what you want with me, but don't let me go. You make me feel so unreal. You make me feel so unreal. We can live a dream. We can be so unreal.
So, what would you say? Moderate success? Probably. It's definitely not suiting me as much as the Trim Tech disc does. I love using that disc, I love the back of it. It's a much smoother cut when you're using the back of it, and yes, the Rotoclip is working on the back. It's definitely an improvement. I can trim the toes especially with the back of the disc, but it's not quite as... what's the word? It's definitely not as true a cut. It's not quite as reliable. It's not as... I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but you don't know exactly what to expect when you use the back of it. I'm sure in time I probably will come to terms with that and will be able to use it much easier, but having modified it, I was kind of expecting it to have a much more sort of visceral feel, a more fluent and natural or ergonomic feel to it. Right now I use the back of it and it's kind of, is that going to work? Is it not going to work? And I have to be really careful because I don't know the outcome. Guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, if you've considered becoming a member, then the join button is down below. Loads of people have, a couple of hundred actually, and that has blown me away in itself. If you're on iOS, there's actually a link to a video which will show you guys exactly how you can become a member. Until the next video, guys, thanks very much for watching. My name's Graham Parker, this has been the Hoof GP. Goodbye.
Won't you